The final page, I think, is one of my personal favorites. That right there, that page was so fucking good. Once again, the mangaka makes the villain character designs so bae. Oh, those villain character designs are so fucking good. Like, did you see that one dude that had, like, Frankenstein stitches on his face? Another one kind of looked slightly like Stain when it came to the bandana around the eyes. And then getting to see, like, the yandere girl at the top to a dude that looked like a boulder crystal thing. Just, oh, the character designs are so fucking kick-ass. Like, seriously. I have to admit that when it comes to character designs of the series, they're really good. But the villain character designs, in my personal opinion, are better than the hero designs. Like, I really love the villain designs. Like, I love the Nomu designs. I love getting to see these different villains. For instance, like Stain. And then seeing this design, like what we saw in this. Oh my god, I'm loving them. I'm loving these designs so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing the dude with the, like, Frankenstein stitching. Oh my god, that looks so cool. I want to know more about that guy. I'm willing to bet, judging by the way he looks, I'm going to assume that he has some form of undead type power some way. I mean, we don't really know. So many quirks in this series that there are going to be some very unique things. And I'm willing to bet there's probably something to do with, like, some form of undead type of ability. And I wonder if that guy has something similar to that, since, you know, he kind of looks like some fucked up Frankenstein thing. So, overall, this right here, what this entire arc was trying to do, change the ball game of the series. We kind of got our sights of where the series is going now. Stain accomplished what he set out to do. As we know, Stain's entire goal was telling the world that there is too many fucking fake heroes in this world, and you all need to know what a true hero and a true villain really is. That's what Stain's motive was, and the only hero he respected was All Might. And from this ordeal, and from the aftermath after this arc we just witnessed, we have it to where Stain's words, his ideology, is being announced to the entire world. Here's the thing I like about this series, is the way this chapter took a spin at media. For instance, how the media usually breaks down everything and spreads things and makes it a lot fucking worse. Like, let's think about this. When it comes to news stories and media and stuff, sometimes the media will take certain news stories and they'll just blow it out of proportion, or they'll really make it bad to where everybody finds out and then it's worse than it already was before it was spread to the public. And that's kind of what is going on here. For instance, thanks to what Stain was setting out to do, trying to let everybody know how to be a true hero or a true villain, that caused it to where all the villains that were watching, that were not part of the villain alliance, and they thought Stain was a part of the villain alliance, and they're looking at this guy, looking at his ideology, and they're hearing him on the news and stuff, they're seeing all these different things about him, they're going to join the villain alliance, which is causing it to where more villains are uniting, and that's very bad, because whoever is behind the scenes manipulating everything, which has been in this series, his presence has been in the series since the beginning, was using Stain. Yes! So it's kind of hinted at in the dialogue that Gran Torino and All Might, when they're talking about how whoever's the mastermind in the villain alliance behind, you know, Shigaraki, this dude is setting everything up where he's calculating different plans of what he wants to do. And it's hinted at, now this can be a translation error, maybe I interpreted it wrong, so I'm just going to say it right now, so don't quote me on this. But from the dialogue that we got from All Might and Gran Torino, it seemed like that there is a huge fucking drop with a name. For instance, we kind of gotten the dude's name who kind of injured All Might and has caused a lot of shit to All Might, along with who probably is leading everything behind the scenes. All for one. See, the ability that Izuku has and All Might has is one for all. But they name drop in quotations in the dialogue saying all for one. It's a different fucking name compared to one for all. All for one is an entirely different way to say that in top of the line. And so, for it to be called something like that, it makes me fury craft. For someone to be called All for One, and then have an ability that's called One for All, which Izuku and All Might have in different predecessors, it makes me assume that this ability, whoever this has, like this villain dude, All for One, has the exact same type of ability like All Might. For instance, an ability that can be passed down through genetics. For instance, let's say you have some of my hair, you'll now have my ability. And I can see something like this happening if that is true. And this might explain a lot of things that we should expect in the future. For instance, this dude most likely knows about All Might's ability with his genetics, his DNA. So this is some scary shit. This is some pretty fucking scary shit right now. So that setup right there, that's in-game. That right there is probably one of the in-game bosses of the series, alongside of this dude most likely going to be the one that kills All Might. I'm gonna say. That's probably going to be the guy that kills All Might. Now, couple other things, getting back into the news story and the media and stuff. I like the panel work in this chapter. I really don't talk about that much when it comes to different manga, but I really need to talk about some of the panel work with this chapter. I like the unique style with the media and getting to see like the news cover story and stuff with the narrations that was in this chapter, especially like the first couple pages when you saw the news story pop up and it was talking about, you know, Stain. I think his name was Akaguro. That's what Stain's official name was. We kind of find out more about him and some more past and characteristics of him. For instance, like his parents died. At one point in time, he was trying to be a hero after, you know, seeing All Might's speech. He wanted to be a hero. He joined the academics to where he tried to become one, especially like, you know, how Izuku is doing it right now. And he saw how everybody was just hungry for money and personal gain. They weren't true heroes. He kind of got sick of this and he dropped out of the school, which led him to training for many years and just growing, getting stronger, and learning killer arts. But his parents died, which it says that he wasn't the direct cause of his parents' death. So we could throw that out the window. But with the way the media story was being covered in this chapter, it revealed a lot of things about Stain, which was handled in a way I haven't seen a manga handle something in quite a long time, like especially in that type of format, especially like with a news story, with the news relaying all the information. In a way, this is very realistic, because think about this. Let's say someone goes off and does something very evil. They do something very fucking evil, and all of a sudden the media jumps in on this story, and they're like, okay, so we need to figure out, why did this dude do it? What's his motive? What role did he have? You know, that's how the media plays. I've seen it in recent times in these past couple weeks, actually. When something really fucked up happens, and they don't really understand it, or there's not much information on this person, usually the media will dive in, dig in, and try to figure out more about this person. And that's kind of what happened with Stain. They found out his name, they found out his motives, what he did, what drove him to do what he did. And that right there, fucking amazing. Very good writing from the mangaka. Very unique from standard Shonen Jump when it comes to just throwing the information on top of us with a certain character. It was handled in a way that didn't feel like it was clumsy, and also it felt like it was executed properly, where it flowed with the story without feeling like it was just rushed in for we could find out more about Stain. Now, overall, the chapter right here, this chapter, besides the villains alliance, to, you know, the Frankenstein dude at the end, to the Yandere girl, which I cannot wait to see more about her, and then also seeing, you know, Stain's true motive and finding out about him, and then All for One, we come to find out more about Ida's situation. For instance, he right now has a permanent injury with his hand, his arm. He will have numbness, and he can't really close his fist properly. And Izuku kind of tells him, like, I'm in the exact same way as you. I can't really move my hand properly either, because of what has recently happened these past couple of arcs. So we already have two main characters that are fucking injured and can't even do the best they can with some of their limbs. That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. I mean, Izuku, our main character, can't even do, like, his right fist properly. And then Ida is also kind of the exact same way. It's fucked up. It really is. But I like that, too. Getting to see consequences after arcs. Very different, too. Very different from normal shonen as well. Seeing consequences of you wanting to rush your ass into battle and getting your fucking ass beat. I love seeing these consequences. Ida getting a consequence. I mean, he said in the chapter that if he wanted to, he would most likely be able to recover. For instance, his hand might be able to recover to where he can use it properly once again. But it's not 100% certain. But even then, he says that he doesn't feel like he should get it healed properly. until he becomes a proper true hero. For instance, his punishment for fucking up and worrying about his vengeance instead of saving people. That was his fault, so he's using it as a consequence for he's stuck with this. And Izuku, he's kind of fucked already, so we already got that out of the way. And that's about it. So chapter of Boku no Hero Academia, fucking amazing, 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 amazing. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Tell me your thoughts, comments below. You have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.